What's up, everyone? Welcome back. This is Raw Vibrant. My name is Light. Thank you for coming to my show. Today I have a really special video. It's going to be nice and concise and to the point. And yeah, if you're new here, uh, like, subscribe, leave some comments. If you're in need of some healing, you're in the right place. On my own personal journey of trying to get well my whole life, I kind of know a few things by now. I've got 15 years of experience in the health world now at this point. So I really know what works and what doesn't work. You know what I mean? And it's not just about the diet. So, so yeah, if these are things that resonate, if you need help, I'm a detoxification specialist. I'm also an iridologist. And yeah, I can help you out if you need my help. rawvibranthealth@gmail.com. That's how you can get in touch with me. I don't do full-on iridology reports at the moment, but I do kind of a unique thing with my consultations where if the client can get me pictures, I can kind of do a quick little look at the eyes, complimentary, which is included with the consultation, which is kind of nice. And I feel like that's really been working really good for me in my own little practice here. Yeah, but besides that, yeah, I'm just here with some frequencies of pure love for you guys, some healing frequencies, some just frequencies of healing, freedom, frequencies of sovereignty, being sovereign, frequencies of patience, perseverance, confidence, acceptance. So, yeah, we got 10 things here, okay? 10 things in this video. It's going to be, like I said, concise for a change. These are 10 reasons that I commonly see why people aren't healing, okay? And this is in no particular order, okay? No particular order with this stuff. There's a lot more I can say, but people's attention spans these days are not so long, and of course, we are also just in a really busy rat race. Some of us, and some of us are out of the matrix. Some of us are 1 foot in and 1 foot out, So, the number one thing that I see most often with people, and of course with myself, that if I'm not getting it, there's going to be issues. The number one thing is sunlight. Sunlight. First of all, for your eyes need to see sunlight so that you can have some melatonin, so that you can sleep properly, you can have a proper circadian rhythm. But besides that, you need vitamin D, you need sunshine. It's just so many people who are they're in the tropics and they're pale. It's like, and they're wondering why they're having issues. And like, you're gonna have, I see it all the time. People are depressed. They're pale. They have bone issues, bone sensitivity, muscle sensitivity. They have depression. Like I said, they have just fatigue and brain fog and all this stuff. That's all vitamin D deficiency signs, okay? And if you are in a cold climate, a place that doesn't get some sun, then you're going to want to definitely supplement with vitamin D. It's crucial, absolutely crucial. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, if people are not taking the processed foods out of their diet, I mean, I don't even think I should have to say this, but like, well, why do you think you have issues? Why do you think you have issues? We didn't have processed food 200 years ago. I mean, it's one thing to have the plastics, the pesticides, the metals in the foods, but it's also another thing to have a big list of ingredients which are typical of processed foods. Many things you can't pronounce, MSGs, maltodextrins, all these things. Eating chemicals is not good, okay? Doesn't matter how organic it is and how 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 if it's non-GMO, it's still processed food. It's still processed food. It's still probably a cooked dead food. Almost all processed foods are cooked, right? I would say. I guess they all are pretty much. So that's the second one. The third one is if people are not dealing with their emotions, they're in their traumas, they're stuck in toxic relationships, whether that be romantic or not. If they're not seeking out help and working on their inner state, their inner health, their mental, you know, their mental stuff, then they're gonna have issues. I see it every single time, and I've said it probably almost every video I've done. If you don't work on the emotions, you're not gonna heal. There you go. There you go. Save yourself some years and heartache of trying everything else. You need to do the emotions. That's the first thing you need to accept and work on and face. Trust me. And there's layers and layers and layers, and the darkness, like I just keep seeing in myself. The more I heal, the more I see I need to heal even more, and the more I see more of my dark side. I have a dark side, guys. We all have a dark side, but the dark side is there for us to grow. The dark side is there for us to grow. It's not fun during it, but when we get to the end, when we get out of the tunnel, then it all meant something. It all made you who you were. You know what I mean? So that's the third one. The fourth one is chemicals, chemicals on the cleaning products, chemicals on clothes, laundry, on your towels and your sheets, uh, chemicals on your skin. These beauty, you got to be careful, guys. I got to tell you about these, especially the women beauty products. Especially a lot of them that are supposed to be organic and all this. Trust me, be careful, and you can't pronounce these things. And there's like numbers in you're trying to pronounce it. It's like blah 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 432H. It's like no, you don't. I mean, we're in a chemical-ridden world. I don't need to discuss that. We've talked about that too much. Let's not bring too much attention to that. But you gotta watch not just the chemicals in your food, which I was just talking about. You need to watch the chemicals, what you put on your skin, what you put on your body. All this stuff is gonna get absorbed. If you're taking a shower, especially a hot shower, and there's chemicals in the fluoride and chlorine and stuff in that water. If you don't have a filter in your house, and that stuff's gonna come up, especially if it's hot water. It's gonna come up you're going to be breathing it in, and it's going to be getting into your pores. So we got to be careful with the chemicals. And I'm just telling I mean, it's amazing how we can be so resilient with the amount of crap that we have to deal with. So the fifth one, I wrote a list today, guys. So didn't have time to memorize it, but is the fifth reason I see people they're just not healing is the ownership, the lack of ownership that people have. I see a lot, and I had it a lot too, and that's why I wasn't healing. I didn't own my stuff. I was always in the stories, the blaming, the victiming, the focusing on the negative stuff, and that's still a hard one for me. Like, I see the negative stuff, I don't necessarily focus on it personally, but I'm so aware of it, but that's the challenge, right? But anyways, uh, if you're not going to own and take responsibility for your actions and what you're putting in your body and your mind and what you're putting in your mind and yeah, what you're doing with your time and what choices you're making, it's gonna be a rough journey, okay? So number six is the food, guys. The food is the big one, right? And I already talked a little bit about that. I talked about the processed food, but number six is you're having too much mucus forming foods, acidic foods, foods that leave a trail of residue, foods that will leave pain in your body more pain in your body and more issues and discomfort. And if you are already experiencing that, if you're uh, having issues, right? These fats, and especially protein foods, high protein foods, and especially grains, all grains, even gluten free, even all breads, even gluten free, especially gluten free, even oils, all meat, all dairy, all eggs, all these things that really aren't food. They're just not, sorry. And it's okay to enjoy these things sometimes, but if you need to heal, guys, you got to learn about following a mucusless diet. You need to learn about acid and alkaline, the two sides of chemistry. You need to learn about the lymphatic system. And if you're eating acidic foods, if you're having a lot of issues, it's because you're acidic, you're agglomerated, you are, yeah, you have obstructions to the flow of your chi, of the prana, of your life force. And that's because you have too much acids in your body. The acids are going to chew up and make pain in your body, pain and discomfort in your cells. The alkaline foods are going to bring ease and peace and vibrancy, vitality, energy, intelligence back to your cells. You know, well, not back to your cells, but because you have this stuff already in you, it's just going to remove what's in the way. And once the things are removed that are in the way, guess what? Then you get your healing. Then you get your healing. I'm trying to do these fast videos. It's hard, man. The seventh thing that I see very often, and it's some of these are hard for me, is bad eating habits, guys. I'm pretty good, but once in a while I do something like I'll eat really late. If I can't sleep, I'll eat really late because I'm like, because I just need a way to cope. I'll eat some mangoes because I need a way to cope from not being able to fall asleep. Sometimes I have trouble falling asleep still. We all have issues, you know. But yeah, bad eating habits. It's hard. It's a hard one to. Yeah, it's going to be a hard healing if you continue having. You're eating late. You're eating rushed. You're overeating. None of that stuff is good. Even overeating fruits, guys. If you read Arnold Ehret, the mucusless diet, he talks about eating like, 1 pound of grapes, and he's good for however long. We really don't need to eat this much. And even fruit, like we eat too much fruit, we can kind of block the flow, and it'll be kind of a harder healing experience. But we don't want to eat don't want to eat like a tiny amount of fruit. Okay, I do want to say that when you fast and stuff, you start getting more efficient, right? So you gotta really get educated on a lot of things I'm talking about. But as a whole, you don't want to have bad eating habits. You don't want to be eating. You don't want to be eating when you're not calm. If you're having anxiety, if you're not feeling comfortable, if it's really loud, or if you're eating with people. I don't like to really eat with people unless I'm with the right people and it's a good vibe and I feel comfortable, you know? So you don't want to eat unless you feel like you're going to be able to digest this food and it's the right time. So that's a good one. Number 8, this is a big one. And for the natural hygienists, I'm sorry, we don't live in a normal world anymore. And I've seen in myself, man, I was doing colonics at first, but I was not doing the enemas when I needed to. And enemas and colonics, so essential, so completely essential. If you're having issues, well, you can just say, oh, I'm going to be a natural hygienist. And unless you have the ability and the discipline and hopefully the knowledge and maybe some supervision to water fast, then you got to do some enemas and colonics. Even if you do a water fast, in my opinion, in today's day and age, you should do some enemas and colonics. More so, I'm more big on the enemas personally because you can be strategic. It's less water in the colon, less bacteria can get out, and you can do it when you need it, mindfully, strategically, intelligently, to remove you. Sometimes, guys, we just need to remove the stuff. That's immediately. We just need to get this stuff removed. All these meals that are backed up in us need to be removed. So that's number 8, enemas and colonics. It's a one that I see very often. That if they're not doing that, well, that's a big reason they're not healing. Trust me, guys. And I do have a video to that, and I'm actually gonna link that below. Okay, so if you want, so you don't have to go look through my all my videos to find it. Okay. The ninth reason I see people not healing is the sedentary lifestyle. Now, if you're very sick, a lot of people that I work with are very, very sick. Okay, some aren't so bad. But if you're really, really having severe issues, or if you're having some cancers, you're gonna not want to be doing much exercise at all. Nothing strenuous, maybe some walking, because when you do the exercise, it creates more acid buildup in your body, right? So, but in general, if you're feeling good, if your body's feeling good, and you have energy, then moving your lymphatic system is great. And a good way to do that, besides just eating the fruits, would be swimming is really good because you got your lymph nodes. Walking is good. Jumping on a rebounder is one of the best. One of the best. So, the sedentary lifestyle, guys. If you're able to be exercising and you are and you're just being lazy, well, we're not meant to be sitting all the time, We're meant to be getting up, moving around, stretching, And I see if they're just sitting at a computer too much, I see that's a big reason they're not healing. They're not in touch with nature. And I know that we have jobs and we have things we need to do, but we can tweak them. We can get the stand-up desk. We can do things. There's always something that we can do to make things easier, so that we can transition to a better, better way of life, right? So the sedentary lifestyle is not great unless, like I said, unless you're really sick, you're really having issues, and there's nothing you can do but lay there. Then you must just lay there, close your eyes, put something over your eyes in the dark, and just sit there until you get better. Because eventually you're going to get better if you follow the proper steps and follow nature's guidance. And the 10th thing is not resting. Okay, not getting good sleep, obviously, but not just that. Also, just not resting when your body is telling you need to rest. When our nervous systems are telling us, hey, we need to rest, even for 5 minutes, even for 10 minutes, Even if you have to listen to a spiritual podcast for 30 minutes, something, but preferably just sitting there and doing nothing or meditating. If you don't take the time to rest in today's day and age, guys, we're bombarded by everything. We're bombarded by complexity in such a way that people back in the day would never imagine, or such complexity. We're bombarded with responsibilities. We're bombarded with, the chemicals. We're bombarded with all this. We have all this acidic stuff stuck inside of us. If we don't take the time to rest, we're not going to heal. I see it every time. You don't take the time to just sit with yourself, go inside, you're not going to heal. Especially now, we're also bombarded with all these frequencies, all these, electromagnetic frequencies, which definitely, without a doubt, aren't good for our health. And that I can tell you, even just having my phone on for a second, even just looking at the computer for a couple minutes, I feel it, guys. So if you're not taking the time to rest, get away from the screens for a little bit, get into nature, sitting with yourself, you might not have a pleasant healing process. So this video is, wow, I thought I was gonna just bang this out in 10 minutes, but I doubled it, and that's okay. I feel like this one has a lot of value, and it just came to me. I should give you guys a good little list video again, and send you some love, let you know the universe loves you, and I love you, and you are loved and supported always, even in your darkest hour, and especially in your darkest hour. So I hope you like that. Yeah, give me some feedback and let me know what's good for you guys, what's exciting, what you're doing in your lives, how you're making this planet a better place. And I hope you enjoyed some sunshine on a cloudy day. Bye, guys.